about, but it was just certainly it was a good talk.
Mm-hmm.
Good talk on Cobra Kai.
Right.
Oh, so what's today's date?
Today is the 18th, Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah, and in 2 days we have an inauguration.
Yep, our new president.
And what's the deal? What's the latest on this impeachment stuff?
Well, he's been impeached twice. The question is whether or not it's a conviction. Whether
Yeah,
or not they'll get a conviction. But he's definitely been impeached twice.
Yeah. What's the latest as far as the conviction?
Okay, impeachment news. Giuliani won't represent Trump at impeachment trial after all.
Yeah, he's under fire himself. He can't.
Okay. 35 minutes ago, as Biden's inauguration approaches, pressure mounts on some Trump appointees.
Or are you doing some research? That's dope.
Yeah, it just says about the the trial looming. So I guess I guess it hasn't. I don't know when it begins. I don't see anything like within the last couple of hours.
I'm just curious as to like, are there talks of proceeding even after the inauguration? I know Biden has called for the Senate to continue the prosecution while going on about the business of, you know, vetting his cabinet appointees and the whole nine.
Mm-hmm.
And the Senate said that it's something that they could do.
You sound a little underwater a little bit right now.
I said in the Senate said that it is something that they could actually do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm curious to see if that's something that they're going to continue to try to, make happen.
Yeah, I'm not having.
There's this thought process that like, do we let if what he did is a crime, if it's proven to be a crime, do we just let him get away with it?
Yeah, I mean the last I heard on that was we can't do that because it sets a dangerous precedent. And we already have a dangerous president.
Such a dangerous precedent, and we already have a dangerous president.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, you can't allow people to fan the flames of insurrection no matter how many days there are until the inauguration of the next.
I agree. So I'm just curious. So that's the reason why I asked, because I just hadn't heard anything about what I know what Biden is calling for, mm-hmm. but I just hadn't heard anything about what actually is going to take place.
Yeah.
Which is the reason why I, decided or, asked the question. Like, I'm just curious. Like,
yeah, you think it would be here in the news.
Right. Like I know they talk about it. I'm sure I could turn on CNN right now and they're talking about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I just thought maybe, you're always in the know. I'm always getting my information from, people like you, smarter people. I figured maybe you had some insight that I just wasn't aware of.
Yeah. Biden has made it clear he wants to split the day in half to allow his nominees to be confirmed in the morning ahead of the trial. That takes agreement from everyone.
They want the trial in the afternoon.
Okay. Okay.
That's
yeah.
That's the talk, that they want the Senate to operate in the morning, and then work on the trial in the afternoon.
Okay.
Which, I mean, it seems to me that from what they said, it's certainly something that they can do.
Right. And then the next question is, are the insurgents still planning on acting up, or have they, subsided, and are they going to
insurgent?
What are they called? Terrorist or domestic terrorist, or?
Well, right now they're not any of that until they do that, right?
I mean, they just did, didn't they?
Well, that was then, but it doesn't mean that the people that are going to do whatever they're saying that they're going to do are those people, or that's what they're, they might just go and protest.
Well, that's my question is, like, I mean, there's fear that they're going to do it again, or there's fear that.
Well, you had used the term insurgents, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Well, if that's what they are, then go arrest them now.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't know the terms. I
get what you're saying, but that's why I'm like, wait a minute, insurgents is that's a thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's a not bold, but that's a big, like, if that's what you are, then I don't have to wait for you to, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to go get you.
Okay. What is the difference? That means that you're in action now, or?
Well, yeah, because I have to wait for you to break the law, right? Like, I can't, if I know you are an insurgent, and being an insurgent is a specific thing, right? It means I am going to infiltrate militaristically. Well, I don't have to let you do that then. You are a terrorist. You are an enemy. I'm going to find you where you are, and I'm going to arrest you. Right? Otherwise,
well, I mean, these people weren't found. Oh, you're saying the people that infiltrated the Capitol were not doing it militaristically?
No. They were. Okay, what I'm saying is, so when you say insurgents, and the way that you said it, it threw me off. And I guess it goes back to earlier when I was talking about English words. When you said it as if you were speaking about the people who are going to be protesting the inauguration. It led me to believe, and I'm not saying that that's what you said, so let me restate that. The way I infer, my inference was such that you were saying that the people who went to the Capitol are going to be the same people participating in these protests, and they're going to be doing it as insurgents. If they're going to be doing it as insurgents, then I don't have to let you protest. I can stop you now.
Well, I mean, you'd have to find them, right? I mean,
well, but that's the point. Like, not only do I have to find them, I have to prove that they are insurgents.
Yeah.
As opposed to just protesters.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know how you do that.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't prove that they're insurgents before they become insurgents unless they are proactively stating that we are or going to operate as insurgents. As long as they keep saying we're going to protest.
Well, that's a good question. I mean, I don't know if they were separating like that. I don't know if they were covering their tracks like that. I mean, I feel like some of these people were pretty bold. And saying it's a revolution and shit, like were they told like no, Don't use that word revolution
Yeah,
until we
that
get on the steps.
that's protected speech.
Right. So,
Like when you look at the Capitol, right? Let's be clear, at least from my perspective, 200,000 people protested at the Capitol. 200,000 people did not become insurgents at the Capitol building, because if 200,000 people did become insurgents at the Capitol building, they would have taken the Capitol building.
well, I mean, they did take the Capitol building,
Well,
didn't
they only arrested 200 people.
Yeah.
Because 200,000 people did not show up at the Capitol building as terrorists. They showed up to protest. The majority of those people, whether I agree with their protest or not, were only protesters. A minority certainly became insurgents.
Yeah, I'm not arguing against that. I'm just saying the fear is anywhere from now to the 20th, shit's going to hit the fan again. And there are going to be
I certainly think it will, but there is a possibility that it won't.
Yeah, well, we can't operate under that possibility. Like these guys got caught.
I certainly think it will.
What's that?
I did say I certainly think it will.
Yeah, well, I mean, I hope that this time, they're actually prepared. And when I say prepared, I don't even know if I mean that as if they literally didn't know it was going to happen, but, prepared and willing to defend, and not have people like letting people in the building.
Well, I don't want them shooting people.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want them either. But certainly by not letting them, certainly letting them in the building did not help those people not get shot.
Yeah, I'm just of the same frame of mind as I am with the protest that took place earlier this year, where we had a minority of people doing things that I didn't agree with, and the vast majority weren't. I don't want the majority to be treated, a certain way because of the actions of a minority.
I certainly don't either. The minority this time, had plans on killing people. I just hope that, for a government that uses so much force on protesters and folks that they don't like and all this other stuff, I just hope that they're able to keep the peace and protect the Capitol. I just don't understand how you could have like one cop, running around the building trying to lead, these revolutionaries away from the senators.
Preach.
I just don't get it. I mean, where was the security?
I mean, we understand that there was some.
I've had more cops called on me knocking on someone's door, like trying to talk to them about the environment. I've had more of a presence there.
I mean, we do understand that we are talking about, I mean, as shady and as hard it is to say, like, this is the essence of conspiracy, and there were some people conspiring and obviously on the inside.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious.
Yeah, for sure.
If there's any appropriate time to talk about conspiracy theory,
yeah,
this situation, right?
For sure.
Just the questions that you posed speak to, like, some people knew something. I mean, police are being investigated.
Yeah.
Currently, right now, police are being investigated. I have friends on a military level, and I can't say much on this, one, because we're on air. Two, because I don't want to be compelled to provide sources for things that I'm saying. So I'm just going to say that I've spoken to some friends military who, you know, they've been briefed that by their commanders and then people in their chain of command. One of my friends, and I'm going to just only quote one, said particularly, like, we've already been told, because he was just telling me how he talks to some of his friends who are conservative, and he's telling them, like, separate yourself from people talking and using the ideology that was embraced when the Capitol was formed. And he's like, seriously.
Name, rank, and file number.
And what he said was, because we've already been briefed. Someone in their chain of command specifically said to them, and we already know that some of the people in uniform thought it was a good idea to participate in this. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go any further because I don't want to be compelled to back up, you know, we're on air, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I'll leave it to sound as spooky and conspiratorial as it may.
What did you say their name, rank, and file number was?
I'm good. Several people. You know, I keep in contact with people that are actively serving now.
Mm-hmm.
You talk to one of them regularly. You just don't know that he's a military member.
Okay.
But you've engaged and encountered and interacted with him regularly, and he's an officer in the military.
Okay.
You've definitely interacted with him regularly, more times than not. You've agreed with and vehemently disagreed with this person. One of these, not the one who I'm quoting, but regularly. But I keep a regular ear to the street with former and current military members. Just so you know.
Yeah.
I just do. I just do. But yeah, that was something that was brought to my attention, and I was like, oh, really? He was like, yep, it's real.
I was thinking about that too. I was thinking about that when I had a friend, you know, make a joke about you know, the cop leading those folks away from the Senate, and I was like, you know, maybe now is not the time to be like making these comments about, oh, like, we were so close to, you know, having this happen to the Senate, and this guy had to like blow it or whatever. It's like, yeah, maybe now is not the time for those type of comments.
Right. I mean, it's one thing to feel a certain way, and it's another thing when the shoe is on the other foot, right? Like, I'm not the biggest fan of police. Do I want police to die? Do I want to ignore sometimes when police are in the right and doing something heroic? And you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Do I want senators of any ilk, Republican or Democrat, to die?
Right.
I don't. I don't want to put my name on that, nor do I want to be the person in the position to celebrate it. You know, that woman who got shot, people were like, F her. And I'm like, man, I hate that woman got shot. That's how I feel.
Right.
Do I agree with her? Do I think she should have been there? No, I don't. Not going to stand here and say that. But at the end of the day, my character, who I am, a spiritual person, do I want people to die? Nah. No. And when we get to that point, like, we got to remember who we are as humans, right? We got to remember what the goal is and what we're fighting for, right? Peace and unity, ultimately. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A better America for everybody. You know what I mean?
For sure.
At least that's how I look at it, and maybe I'm just, you know, an ideologist or an idealist.
Maybe a little emo.
Maybe a little emo. When it comes to life.
You're underwater again.
When it comes to human life, I don't mind being emo.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to human life that I don't necessarily, like, I might not necessarily agree with you. Might not even
Right.
necessarily like you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to die.
When it comes to God's creatures like roaches.
Oh, they can die. They can die in my chili. It's good seasoning.
You die in your what?
In my chili, it's good
Oh, in your
seasoning.
chili. Okay. A little extra crunch.
Yep.
I've
Good.
seen I've seen cricket protein advertised recently. They got these bars. I forget the name that they call it. It's got like some kind of catchy name, but it's like cricket protein.
I mean, yeah, I've seen chocolate covered crickets. I've eaten crickets before.
Mm-hmm.
I've eaten ants too. Chocolate covered ones.
Mm-hmm.
I've eaten mealworms. Like you used to could buy boxes of them salted in like five and dime and gimmick stores in Oklahoma when I was in the army.
Okay.
You could just buy like a box of like salted mealworms.
Okay.
You could buy like chocolate covered ants or crickets. So I've eaten all of that. They're
Yeah.
not. I'm not going to sit here and tell you they're good. I will
Mm-hmm.
tell you for the mealworms, they're not bad. Like Mike, you would. Well, you don't eat those, but if you did, you would eat them. Like if you
Right.
ate meat, you would eat them. They're not. They're not like no one's buying. Oh, I want to go with these snacks of mealworms. But if like you're hungry, they're just kind of crunchy. They're dried. Like they're not like
Mm-hmm.
gooey. They're just dried out and salted.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of taste like a nut, a burned type nut type taste, like an overcooked nut type taste.
Yeah.
They're not bad. The ants, you can't really taste them. Like the chocolate just kind of,
Overpowers it.
yeah, you can't really taste those. Yeah, I've had both.
Word.
Yep.
Well, I think unless we have anything else to talk about, I think that's been a good show. We got some good stuff going on. I'll make sure I
All
take
right.
care of the recordings so they are all set up. I got a new setup now that makes my space look a little bit better, even with the backgrounds and whatnot. Um, you might not be able to tell as much from your phone, but certainly I can tell on my end that everything looks good. Um, so my friend Pam wants to proceed on Friday for a show. Um, you
I
know,
can say yes, but I'm not positive.
okay,
And
okay,
that's oh, wait a minute. This may answer your question. Cobra Kai completely ruled out the 2010 Karate Kid movie, but there is still a connection. Cobra Kai, Jaden Smith film isn't canon, but may exist in the Miyagi verse. This is an article that just popped up in my comic feed. While
okay,
Netflix's Cobra Kai doesn't consider 2010's The Karate Kid to be canon, there is still an in-universe connection between the two properties. It
interesting.
says, Cobra Kai executive producer and co-showrunner John Hurwitz confirmed the 2010 Karate Kid film exists in a separate universe from the Netflix series. However, there is still a connection. When asked by Film if the 2010 movie was in a separate universe, Hurwitz said yes. We've ruled that out completely. Jackie Chan is mentioned in season 1 of the show as a human. So I think in our world, Jackie Chan is an actor and a performer. If the characters on our show have seen a movie called The Karate Kid, they've seen that one.
I see. I get it. I get it.
So that's the connection, that in their universe, it's a movie.
Okay.
Because that movie isn't canon to this universe. Which
Yeah.
I understand why it should. They call it the Miyagi verse because the next show that they're doing is a Miyagi show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's called the Miyagi verse.
Okay.
Which is an interesting name for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the talk. I didn't know if you knew that or not. That is actually the talk for the next show is the Miyagi show.
I heard of it. Maybe I heard you talk about it. I heard of it.
Hmm. Who knew that in 2021 people would be talking about the Karate Kid?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in 2020, once once we were talking about it in 2020, and kind of figured maybe in 2021, but before that, definitely who knew?
And what do you think about this? You always be wanting to know this stuff. So what do you think about this Snyder cut of Justice League, the 4-hour cut?
Justice League. Oh, Justice League is the one that I liked.
Well, you know, they're
Um,
doing the Snyder cut on HBO Max, and it was supposed to be a limited series, 4 episodes. Well, now it's just going to be one 4-hour movie.
uh, Episode sounded better than a 4-hour movie. I don't know what they're thinking.
Well, it was always meant to be the Snyder cut of the movie. It was just going to be
No,
broken up.
I get it, but I don't want to sit for 4 hours watching a movie. I don't. I mean, at least it's Justice League and not Batman versus Superman. So there's
Well,
that
how
going
long
on.
was Hamilton?
I don't know, but there's still a first of all, it's not 4 hours, that's for sure. Second of all, there's an intermission. Um, but yeah, they should just I don't know whatever made them think 4 episodes was good at first. They should have stuck with that. That sounded smart to me. I mean, they know people don't have attention spans like that. Like I don't know. To me they're just moving kind of funny. I don't know. It's like people are like a little out of touch or something. I think that's what's wrong with some of these superhero films. They just forget who they're dealing with. We're dealing with an audience that does not have the attention span of this. I just don't I just don't get it. I mean, good luck. I hope it works out, but I know I'm going to fall asleep.
Well, you could just not watch it all the way through.
Yeah, you could, or you could have just done 4 episodes, and that would have been cool too. Could have made a whole event, like like a whole week of it, and have people talking and excited. But I mean, whatever works. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. I wonder how many people are gonna sit through a whole watching without pausing it.
I mean, I will,
Yeah,
because I like a good long movie. If it's good, sometimes their movies are so good I don't want them to end.
yeah. That's a long time though.
Oh,
Four
people do
hours.
it. I think you're forgetting that we do live in the binge watch culture where people pretty much do that already when they watch a television series that's an hour long, an hour an episode.
Yeah, but it's still episodic though.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're watching on Netflix, right? I skip the credits.
Well,
I'm not
I
watching the
mean,
credits. I'm literally going from episode to episode to episode, and I literally hit the skip button when it asks me to skip the intro and the credits.
hmm,
So for me, it might as well be 4, 5, 6 hours of a program.
yeah, I guess. Go to the bathroom between a couple episodes,
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean,
grab some water,
I just
some
hit
juice.
pause.
Right.
We can do that on our TVs now. We can actually pause live programming.
Yeah, that's true. Well, hey, I mean, we'll see. What's so special about the Snyder cut? It's just supposed to be better.
I mean, that's what people did. There was a campaign where people demanded this once they found out, right? So,
Yeah.
the story. I don't know, just to reiterate for the listening audience, the story is when Snyder was producing that film, he got sick.
Hmm.
So he brought in Joss Whedon to
Hmm.
take over for him. And what Joss Whedon produced was a different movie than what Snyder originally envisioned.
Okay.
So rumors started leaking thanks to Zack Snyder, on his own Instagram, that there was a Snyder cut, another cut of the film that was a different movie. And I guess this also, was in combination with the idea that the original movie just sucked, right? So Snyder's idea, I guess, on the low was if I let people know that my original vision was different and possibly better, it would drum up some interest. And this whole campaign released the Snyder Cut for a couple years.
Yeah.
Released the Snyder Cut, and then the actors jumped on board. So they're releasing the cut. And this cut is supposed to be not only better, but it's supposed to be Snyder's original vision, which is a different movie.
Okay.
Now that he has a budget to do it, I'm sure that he added things to the film that weren't in his original film. Like, they showed Steppenwolf, like his version of Steppenwolf isn't any better than Whedon's. They both suck. They're totally different, but they leaked the picture on purpose of Steppenwolf, and it sucks. And it universally sucks. Like, people are laughing at it. They leaked that like 6 months ago. But there's other like Martian Manhunter is supposed to appear in it, and a bunch of other stuff that's supposed to appear, which, I guess it's going to make a whole bunch of people happy. For me, it's not canon.
Right.
Like the canon movie's out. So this is just like a what if type movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When is it supposed to come out?
Sometime this year. Mm-hmm. They haven't announced the release date yet.
Very interesting.
Well, sometime this year. I think I'm one of the few people that are really happy about movie theaters. I believe it's Warner Brothers Pictures releasing a lot of their movies for this year directly to HBO Max. Like, I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I know movie theater goers are movie fans and actors, and there are a lot of actors being happy with it, and I understand why.
Right.
They're like producers and creators of films. I get why they're not happy about that, and that just has to do with, profit sharing, and, I get it. I totally get it. But as a fan who watches movies, I'm you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not mad that I can watch a movie at my house that I don't have to pay for because I pay for the streaming service. Well, I don't pay for it, but you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm definitely not mad that I can sit at home and watch a movie the day it comes out in a theater on my television.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I really think movie theaters, I love the movie theater experience. I think movie theaters are going the way of the dodo. They're going to become extinct. And COVID did not help. No one would have thought that, but then COVID put things into realization. And first of all, you get so many good movies per year. I'm not saying every week or every month, over the course of various streaming, across various streaming services that you'll never get in a theater anyway. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say The Irishman was the greatest film, but like The Irishman didn't go to theaters. Okay. He put it directly on Netflix.
It's a good film.
I mean, I don't think it was the greatest film. I'll give you a great film that could have probably been a hit in theaters. The Old Guard. The Old Guard would have been a hit in theaters.
It didn't go to
Netflix.
I saw a joint that could have been a hit. Was what is it? I keep calling it Beyond the Wire. Outside of the Wire, is it called?
Man, that movie sucks. With Anthony Mackie.
You didn't like that?
Stop, man.
Yeah, some of your people didn't like that.
Stop, bro.
I liked it. I liked it.
No, but The Old Guard is a perfect example, right? Because this is a movie, that movie and the Chris Hemsworth movie that also came on Netflix, those two movies broke all kind of streaming records. Like, Netflix has a franchise on its hands, a 3-film franchise with The Old Guard. Like, it broke every Netflix record. It was extremely successful, and it went to Netflix. Like, that would have been a hit in theaters. But strictly Netflix. That film with old boy who's the second highest paid actor in Hollywood behind The Rock. He was in the movie. He plays Deadpool.
Ryan.
He had a direct to Netflix film, which is clearly a franchise, and that film was great. It's a great film, and the film is clearly a franchise. Like you could, the way it's set up, everything about the film is a franchise. Like, you know, there's going to be a sequel, and it was a direct to Netflix. So these films that go directly to streaming services are doing successful.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the 4D, maybe they'll have to get more into 4D films to have people, you know, have people go out for something you
Right.
can't get at home right now.
Well, I mean, they just better be hot movies. Personally, I don't see movie theaters being necessary by 2025. I just don't see the necessity for it anymore. I just don't see it. Not to mention, you got a lot of properties because the internet exists. You got a lot of do-it-yourselfers who are putting out great products. You know what I mean? You have a lot of people who are just, I'm going to film a movie and put together a crew and get the equipment and just do it myself and put it online and finding success.
Yeah, well, you know, maybe maybe it depends on what kind of movies you're into and whatnot. You know.
How do you mean?
Well, I mean, you know, blockbusters kind of take more funding than just like independent, you know, revenue streams.
On some levels, you're right, but that was before the age of digital effects. And the thing is, you have people who are good enough to you can go online and you see people who get hired because they're just online showing you what they can do with digital effects, and it's dope. And they get hired by the people who make blockbuster movies.
Right.
So you're right. But on the same token, like it's just really about what your skill set is. Like, if you listen, there are people who sit at home. I posted videos before in Comic Sense of people who sit at home, and like, I forget the one video I did where he just, the dude who recreated a modern day version. It was on Comic Sense a year and a half ago. He really literally did Thundercats better than anyone has ever seen Thundercats, bruh. And he did it at home. Like, this kid just sat at home and just did a whole episode of Thundercats, and it was gorgeous, dude. It was all computer effect. It was gorgeous. Like, gorgeous. It was better than any Thundercats anyone ever saw. He went viral with it. It was dope. Like, dope, dude. He just did it at home because he's just so good at computer graphics.
Yeah.
You know, these programs cost money, but when you get access to them and you master them, you're the same as these people that get paid a lot of money in Hollywood to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what it is. Like, you'd be surprised, man, when you say blockbusters. The blockbuster today definitely does. It costs more money and less goes into it than, say, the blockbuster in the 80s, when, you know, we're really going to go get 15 cars and blow them up.
Right.
Now we're not blowing up 15 cars. We're gonna CGI these explosions. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, now it's just all digital. But in the 80s, now we're gonna blow up 15 cars. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to set some explosives. We're only gonna get this take one time because we're gonna have to set some explosives in that building. So make sure we get the take because we're gonna blow that wall. Now it's just digital. Just a digital explosion. You know what I mean? Some digital fire. Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Like, and it costs more money to do that now than it costs more money to do that than actually blow up some cars like it did in the 80s. Like, if you look at the first Fast and Furious film to the 9th Fast and the Furious film, the first Fast and the Furious film, they really destroyed cars. I remember they showed the making of it, where they rebuilt a Charger and destroyed a Charger, and now all of that is digital because they didn't have that in the early 2000s when the Fast and the Furious they were just going to digital films. You know what I mean? Yeah. Remember, they had the DVDs where you could tell which film was digital because the voice didn't always match up with the person talking.
Right.
That's when they first started going to digital film in the early 2000s. Now it's such a seamless transition that we don't realize that everything we watch post 2010 is digital. It's digital film. You see what I'm saying? They even fixed it to where like the words actually matched their mouths, because you used to could tell the audio track it was very difficult for them to get the audio track right on point with the digital video. So it was always like their words were, you could see their mouths moving, but it wasn't actually matching up with the words that they were saying, because the track was always off by like a point or two of a second. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you don't even see that anymore. It's almost seamless. You know what I mean? But yeah, a lot of people don't even know. Like, we've been watching mostly digital film for at least 10 years now.
Yeah, no, I know they got rid of I know people, film, cinephiles and film buffs weren't happy about getting rid of true film years ago.
Yeah, but it's much easier if it saves you a lot of time filming a movie, because with digital film, I can edit on the site. Like, I could film you, Mike, stop it, look at it, edit it. With film, I gotta film it, do 5 or 6 takes, take it back to the studio, dump it into you know what I'm saying? Dump it into a computer, and then it's gonna take me hours. It's real time. So I have to really sit there and watch it in real time in order to realize where I gotta edit at it and what have you. Like, it's a lot longer process. Much easier for me to just be on set. We record something. I go back.
The cinephiles don't care about that. They don't care about ease of what it takes the person doing it.
Yeah, I know.
Nostalgic for their,
Film looks good, but digital is the way to go. I was a film student. I feel I know how they feel. I get it, but listen. We live in this world where like money talks, right? Like, if I can save time and money, like, I want to save time and money. Go give me a digital.
Well, and it's more democratic for everyone being able to hop in if it's cheaper and easier, right? If everyone has access.
It's not necessarily cheaper, but certainly easier.
Yeah.
It definitely gives more people an opportunity, for sure. More of the little guys get an opportunity to actually fit in. You understand what I'm saying? And carve their own niche, for sure. It doesn't close out. The niche was so specialized when it was just film that it shut out so many people, right?
Yeah.
You had to actually go and study that specialized niche. For now, like, the 16-year-old with a high D8 camera, a high 8 camera, can begin to, at the very least, hone this craft at a younger. He doesn't have to wait to get out of high school to go to film school. You know what I mean? He can pick up a camera and start. You know what I mean? Download some programs and begin to teach and learn these things at a younger age.
Speaking of film school, I'm gonna try to put this up as quickly as I can before I fuck around, because this is like the third. I feel like this is like our last time trying to put this up.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you go so you can get to that, because my phone is dying. All right, everybody. It's been Flav.
Peace.
I miss you,
It's been a pleasure being on that ish.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.